Set pieces mean Premier League, no longer a joy slot. Liverpool manager Arne Slot says most Premier League games are no longer a joy to watch, and his football heart doesn't like the emphasis on set pieces this season. Of the total scored in the league this season, 27.5% have been non-penalty set-piece goals, the second highest rate since 2009-10. Arsenal's prowess from set pieces has been a key part of their title challenge, with their 16 goals from corners, 3 more than anyone else, equaling the most in a Premier League season. All 3 of Liverpool's goals in the first half of their 5-2 win against West Ham United on Saturday came from corners. Set-piece coach Aaron Briggs left Anfield on December 30th, and Slot's side have scored the most goals in the league from set pieces in 2026, excluding penalties. "You have to accept it," said Slot. "I think it's mainly here in the Premier League. If I watch other leagues, I don't think there's so much emphasis on set pieces. If I watch an Eredivisie game, which I still do, I see goals being disallowed and fouls on goalkeepers being given, and I think, wow, that's a big difference. Here, you can almost hit a goalkeeper in his face, and the referee still says, just go on. Do I like it? My football heart doesn't like it. If you ask me about football, I think about the Barcelona team from 10-15 years ago. Every Sunday evening you were hoping they would play. Now, most of the games I see in the Premier League are not for me a joy to watch, but it's always interesting because it's so competitive. That is what makes this league great, because there is so much competitiveness. Everyone can win against everyone." Slot accepted that set pieces are the new reality of the Premier League and believes it could even become a theme at junior level. "We aren't going to change it," added the Dutchman as he previewed Tuesday's game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. "I just wouldn't be surprised if you went to watch a Sunday league match now and the 16-year-olds were completely focused on set pieces." The rain fell in thin, silver threads over Anfield, turning the grass into a slick mosaic of light and shadow. From the touchline, Arne Slot watched another corner arc into the penalty area. High, deliberate, inevitable. 22 players moved not with improvisation but with choreography, grappling, blocking, tugging, rehearsed to the inch. The whistle blew. A header thundered goalward. Another set-piece goal. Later, in the quiet of the press room, Slot would say that set pieces were draining the joy from the Premier League. Not because they were illegitimate, far from it. They were precise, intelligent, ruthlessly effective. But because they were beginning to feel like factory work in a league once celebrated for jazz. There was a time, he implied, when English football felt like weather. Unpredictable, gusting, capable of sun and storm in the same half. The Premier League sold itself on speed and daring. Wingers darted down flanks, as if escaping gravity. Midfielders attempted passes that split defenses like lightning. Strikers tried the outrageous because the outrageous was allowed. Now, in too many matches, games hinge on the geometry of corners. Analysts adore the numbers. Expected goals from dead ball situations have risen steadily. Training grounds have become laboratories. Coaches dissect the angle of the run, the leverage of the shoulder, the screen that frees a 6'4" defender for a fraction of a second. Specialists are hired whose entire vocabulary is near-post flick-ons and zonal assignments. Slot is no romantic naïve. At Liverpool FC, he studies the same data. He drills routines with the same intensity. To ignore set pieces would be negligence. In tight contests, a single corner is often the difference between title dreams and disappointment. But something in him resists. Perhaps it is the memory of Dutch street football. Tight spaces, no referees, imagination as survival. Perhaps it is the echo of the great teams who made crowds gasp not with choreographed collisions, but with spontaneous brilliance. A Cruyff turn here, a 30-yard strike there, a 1-2 that felt like telepathy. In today's Premier League, matches can resemble chess played with battering rams. Teams defend deep, concede territory, and wait for their rehearsed moment. A free kick on the edge of the box is not a mistake to regret, but an opportunity to exploit. The ball is placed. The blockers align. The whistle becomes a starting gun. Goal. The crowd erupts, yet the eruption feels different. It is the satisfaction of a plan executed, not the astonishment of something unrepeatable. Fans applaud efficiency. They celebrate the grind. But do they leave breathless? Slot's complaint is not about fairness. It is about feeling. Football, he believes, should carry risk. Risk invites chaos. Chaos invites beauty. When too much emphasis falls on the repeatable, the rehearsed, the optimized, the sport edges toward predictability. Every team defends the same zones. Every attacking unit runs mirrored patterns. The individuality that once defined clubs blurs into a common blueprint. He notices it in the faces of players, too. The winger who longs to take on his fullback is instructed to recycle possession, to draw a foul instead. The creative midfielder scans for movement, but sees only bodies positioned for the next delivery into the box. Even defenders, once judged by timing and reading of the game, are valued for aerial dominance and blocking angles during corners. None of this is accidental. Margins at the elite level are microscopic. Television money has transformed the league into a global arms race of detail. In such an environment, surrendering an advantage is unthinkable. If set pieces win points, set pieces will be perfected. And yet, the paradox remains. The better teams become at exploiting them, the more they dominate the narrative of matches. Slot sometimes stands on the training pitch after sessions end, watching young academy players knock a ball around freely. No clipboards. No assigned zones. Just instinct. One child attempts a back heel and falls over laughing. Another tries to chip the goalkeeper from too far out and misses by meters. There are no statistics to justify the attempt, only delight. He wonders what balance must be restored. Not the abolition of strategy. Football, without structure, dissolves into chaos of another kind. Not the romantic rejection of evolution. The game has always changed. But perhaps a recalibration. Incentives that reward open play. Interpretations of grappling at corners that favor movement over wrestling. A cultural shift that prizes invention as much as execution. In press conferences, his words are measured. He knows that headlines can exaggerate. Set pieces mean the Premier League is no longer a joy, they say, as though he has condemned the entire competition. In truth, he speaks from affection. Criticism is the twin of care. He still loves the roar when a sweeping counterattack slices through a defense. He still feels the electricity when a striker curls the ball into the top corner from open play, no rehearsal possible. Those moments remind him why millions tune in each weekend. But he also sees the tide pulling the other way, toward optimization so refined that surprise becomes scarce. Football will find its equilibrium, as it always does. Tactics rise and fall in